Hello there again, YouTube paintball enthusiasts. I have got myself a Gen 2 valve upgrade for my 468 bolt action. So we're going to do a little videoette, since I haven't done one for a while, of how we go about installing said upgrade. So things you'll need: drift punch. If you have a 468 you need one of these. You can kind of get away with using the quote-unquote tool, but I've done it once when I had to at the site. And then you'll also need an Allen key for removing the bottom frame. So without further ado, let's crack on. First thing you need to do, strip your 468 in half, pop the old pins, and then we'll lose the upper. And then you need to drop your magazine off, magazine housing. And this now obviously is as bare as it goes, really. Take the velocity adjuster out, because you don't need that in, and the spring, and hopefully the hammer. Yep, it's a bit mucky that. So there is another item that you may find very handy, and that is a vise. You can get it all to pieces without a vise, but I find it's so much easier with a vise to hold your gun while you're wailing on it with a hammer. With the drift pins, they're on the 468, they're always put in from the left hand side of the gun as you would shoot it. So all the pins are driven in from that side. If you look really carefully, and I mean really carefully, you might be able to see the splines, because the drift pins have got splines on to help them bite into the metal. So you don't want to be driving those right through, otherwise you'll potentially damage everything. So the other side has no splines, and in some cases you can see that the pins are lower. So the pin we need to drive out is obviously the front one. We need to take the front one out, and I think we need to take that one out, but I'm not entirely sure yet. So we'll bumble our way through it and figure it out as we go. I know I need to strip the bottom grip off, but we can do that. So we shall go over to the vise. So let's apply said shooter into the vise to drift the pins out. Don't need to clamp it up super tight. Then you take your drift pin and your persuader, and then very carefully place on the pin, and then just tap it out. And luckily the vise is coiled for me. So put my hand under this, otherwise I'm probably going to lose it. Into my drawer. Yep, would have lost that. So that's the pin. As you can see, one end is, focus on that, will you please? Yep, one end is splined, the other end isn't. Okay, so now we can strip out our front bit. I don't even know what you call that, magazine thingy. Yep, that bit. And then take out the poppet and the poppet pin. Now mine, I've actually had to order some parts from RAV4, because mine never had the spiky thing on. This is like a spiky thing that goes in between the spring and the poppet, that helps to align the poppet inside the housing, but it wasn't on mine for some reason. So I'll have to put that on, but I've got the parts, so we can do it. Alright, on the two carrying on. So now we need to take our Allen key and undo the back one, and then also undo the front one. The front one's only needs loosening, does the front one, but you have to the back one all the way out. It's always easier if you've got a ball-ended Allen key, but I ain't got one, so just gonna have to struggle my way. Well, I don't know why. Well, I know why, because it's cheaper. They never countersunk this. This should have really, in my opinion, been countersunk into the back of here, and then you wouldn't have this incident that we're having now, where it's interfering with my grip. But that's just the way it goes. Cost-cutting exercises and all that. So that's the bottom off. and then we can slide the front one out. Nice. And then we can then remove the front screw. And now they're giving you a replacement one of these. I might not actually have to take that front pin out, but we'll see. So I know that needs to come out. So we need a screwdriver. Horror of horrors. Best go find a screwdriver. You're never far away from a screwdriver, man. The trusty Leatherman. So, screwdriver. Yeah, it's a bit small, might need a bigger one. The brutal one might work. Okay. Unscrew said screwy thing. So that comes out. And so we're going to have to drift that other pin out. I thought we might. How do we have to drift it out? Or is that just a stopping pin? I don't know. No, I don't have to drift that out. I don't. If you look down, you can see that that pin isn't holding that in. It's just in by the will of God. So we need something to poke that out. Wooden spoon. That would work. If I had one. Okay, on the drawer. This is all turning a bit comedy. Okay, so no, that's not shifting. Oh, it did shift. It has shifted. Ow! Always handy having tools on hand. So I've got a dentist pick. And I can. So that's the old valve. It's got a rather large hole in it, and the new valve has a much smaller hole in it. It's totally different, to be honest. It's not anything like that at all. So the new one, I'm going to put that other screw to one side. That's why they give you a different screw, because it doesn't locate. The old screw used to locate in that hole, but on the new one there is no hole. There's a flat. So you have to make sure you install this the right way up, with the hole uppermost, so that it can actually. So when it's in the body of the gun, it needs to be like that, and then that's the cup seal face, and then that's where the hammer, or the striker if you will, would interface with that. So you need to make sure you get that nicely aligned when you put it back in. I have forgotten something. I'm going to pop upstairs and get some grease, just to give it a bit of a lubrication. Okay. I found some grease, a little bit of the old Dow 33. Smidger on there and smidger on there. Give it a bit of a working in. Okay, that should do. Take off the excess. Wish that I'd got some kitchen roll out. Aha! The well-equipped workshop stroke kitchen works a treat. Okay, so got the smeg off the old fingers. So now inserting. So we need the hole uppermost, the flat on the bottom, and then we slide it in. I'm going to cheat and use the hammer just to, and then check alignment, and if we need to straighten up a bit, not the camera, can just use a pick. Just feel like a much looser fit into the body compared to the last. And then we then have our new flat, because the old one totally different. The old one had a pokey thing. Come on, focus, focus. So the old one had a pokey thing to go into the hole on the underside of the gun, and the new one doesn't. Okay, so Make sure you put it with the screw threads on the upper side. And then come on, you bugger. Okay. Okay. Steady away. And just before I tighten it up, yep, still aligned. It's not the perfect screwdriver bit, to be honest. I might see if I've got a different, a slightly smaller one on the old Leatherman. Maybe that one might work better. To the other side. There we go. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Swap that for that. And now check alignment still. Yep, we're good. Snug that up. Okay. So now we need to replace our poppet. Pop it in, just pop it in. But I need to put my extra bit on, so go to the spares, drag out said star-shaped kajigger from the bits and bobs that I've got. Well, this is going to end in tears, is this? That's right, give me everything other than what I want. So I need that bit. Get rid of all that over there. Don't lose those bearings. Oh, so take the spring off, pop the old metal bit back on again, and then pop the old spring back on. So you're still using the same spring that was in your gun originally. I thought they'd have given you a new spring for that, but apparently not. It's just the same one. So now we're installing our poppet. Okay. Okay, you can see the poppet has popped, popped through, as poppets do. And then I will just stick on a slight bit of grease on there as well. A bit of grease. Little fingers a wipe. And then, so we need to be that way up. We can only go on one way. One thing I would rather do though is make sure that that spring actually seats in there. In fact, I'm going to do this the other way around. I'm going to put that into there and then make sure it all goes back together with the spring in the right place. So once you're happy with the reinstallation of that, drift pin back in, obviously from the left as you would shoot, and then now again you don't really need to drift it in, but we'll do it anyway. Just till it's flush. Happy with that. So now we need to put our front screw back into there for mounting the grip. So this is going to be a bit of a bit further in, I think. Another turn. Gone too far. Okay, so slide the grip all the way forward, and then Allen key. Snug that up, and then the front one. Give that a bit of a snugging up. Okay, so next thing that needs to go in is the hammer, which It's not in need of grease, as the hammer on the bolt action is different to the 468. Obviously, the semi-auto 468 has no seal on it, so as such you don't need to blather it with grease as much. So just a light coating, and now we have to remember which way around it goes. It goes that way around with the little pokey thing that's going to interface with the poppet, and it's got to be the right way up. So in we go. Now you need to give it a push and then pull the trigger to get it to go past the sear. And then I'm putting the wrong spring in. I don't actually know which spring I'll need. Now I think this kit is common to the semi-auto 468 and the standard and the DMR, because you get two different length of springs. Now I know I've got these springs in my semi-auto 468, but the DMR spring is way shorter. So they tell you on here which colour does which, but they don't tell you on here which colour is which. So I'm gonna guess and probably go with the gold one because it looks nice, and then we'll see what happens when we put it over the chronograph, which won't be today. It's difficult to tell how springy a spring is, but how springy is a springy thing. So pop the old spring into there. You need to pull the trigger again, and then that will pop the hammer all the way forward. And then velocity adjuster, I'll screw it all the way in because I know it's quite far out at the moment. And then just turn a 2 out, and then pop your velocity adjuster back in, and pretty much done really. Obviously you have to remate your two halves together. I haven't got a mid seal in here because I was really struggling to get my DMR below 280, so I took the mid seal out, and I messed around with all manner of different things, changing air tanks and all sorts, but we shall see. So it needs chronoing now, so I need to put it back together again and then get to the site and chrono it. Hopefully it'll be a fairly simple procedure. Okay, so hopefully that'll have helped anybody who's in the dark about how to install said upgrade. It wasn't too bad. You just need the correct tools. I say drift pins, invaluable. You'll pay a tenner for a set, and there's some of them, I mean, there's different sizes on the 468, but pretty much the only pin you never need to drift is the one I've just taken out. So there you go. Okay, I'll probably do another video once I've done some chronoing, and we'll see where we get. So thanks very much. Take it steady, and I'll see you on the field sometime.